Around the drip rail, opening the driver's side door. Surface rust again here. Don't believe there are any rust holes on this side. Looking at this inner rocker, you can see the rust through down in the inner rocker. There's also a couple of pits, a couple of holes where the drop off on the edge of the floor is really pitted or rusted. Most of this is discoloration and pitting. The only spots of rust through I see in the floor pan at all. There's a tiny crack right here that you probably can't see in the video. And there's another one somewhere over in here that you can't see unless you put a light under the truck at night. Right here there's another tiny hole that you can possibly see. Let me throw a penny out there so you can get some reference as far as the size. There's the penny, so you can see the tiny hole there. And then looking right up here, this is over the cab support on the front driver's side of the cab. There's another tiny hole right there. And that one's not quite as big as that penny. It's definitely a hole, and the whole area is pitted a little bit. A little bit of rust right inside the driver's toe kick, right here. Going into the door, looking around the edge, you can see lots of bubbling and surface rust. Right here you got some rust through. The bottom is definitely going to have to be replaced. It also has a speaker cut out. I think the hinge area is fairly solid. The bench seat is not the original cover. It's like a houndstooth cover instead of the Highlander plaid. The truck has the tilt steering column still in it and a later model steering wheel. Tilt column works fine. The truck does not have AC. It does have, somebody put in an AC controller right here and some aftermarket gauges. This is some remnants from the AC too. I think that's probably an AC heater core, but it just heats. It does not do any AC. There's not a compressor on the truck. Let's see. I think I showed you the sliding back glass. The roof is solid in here. You can see some surface rust basically along the top of the weather stripping, but even looking up in here, not really any rust on the inside of the roof of the cab. I would guess this is probably still the factory color on the inside, the factory paint. Moving around to the passenger side now. A little bit of bubbling right along the bottom of the door, very little bit. The inside of this door, same way. It's not quite as bad, I guess, but you can see rust along the bottom of the door. It definitely needs an inside patch, if nothing else. Once again, I think it's fairly solid in the area of the hinges. You can see some pitting here behind where the weather stripping goes. I pulled the weather stripping off so you could kind of see that. And as we look back here, the drop off on this side is pretty solid. It's pitted, but I don't see any holes. This piece that's part of the rocker, I believe, is rusted out. And there is some rust through just kind of here and there on this rocker. It's probably a little more solid. There's a pretty good chunk missing right here. But still, I would definitely replace that. Now looking at the roof on this side and under the drip rail, right here there's a pinhole. And right here there's another pinhole. There's pitting all along here, but it's solid. I kind of stabbed at it with a screwdriver. But definitely one just inside the drip rail here and here. That once again, smaller than a pencil eraser, but definitely there. Passenger side floorboard, got a wire that I guess probably goes with the radio, the antenna. There's a lot of pitting on the floorboard again. There's a little spot right here where the toe kick is rusted through. This is probably the worst of the inside of the truck. Let me see if I can get some shade on so you can see it. There is a area right here where these two panels meet, and the top panel's got rust through right along there. I'd say it's probably 3 or 4 inches long. The little gap's probably a 1/4 inch wide, but it's definitely there. Throwing a penny up there, you can get an idea maybe of what can give you an idea of how big an area that is. So you can see half as wide as the penny maybe, and maybe some softness up in here. It doesn't feel soft, but I can see a crack right there in the metal. So back here, no pinholes or anything like that. It's got the low hump transmission cover. We'll come around here to the front and take a look under the hood. looking under the hood here. It's got the regular, it's got 1984, I believe, crate motor 350. It really could use detailing, obviously. You can see some of the AC stuff still left, but I don't think maybe it had it on the original motor that was not factory AC stuff, and they just didn't bother putting a compressor and stuff back on here. It's got a new battery, windshield wipers work, power brakes, power steering down there. The power steering's just a tad balky sometimes, especially when it's not idling very fast. Once you get your foot on the gas at all, it smooths out, but you can feel just a little bit of shakiness or resistance, I guess, in the power steering unit that probably means it's getting weak. It does have headers on the truck. At this point, there's no exhaust leaks, but with headers, you know, you never know. It's got HEI ignition. The driver's side inner fender looks like it's fairly solid. I would expect there's got to be some rust through down there, but it looks fairly solid from here. Passenger side, you can see where the tray's got some, the radiator support's got some extensive pitting down here. This should extend all the way up, so it's missing a pretty good chunk where it's rusted through. The battery tray itself's got some rust through on it. The frame looks good. The truck has new brakes, and I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and fire it up, and you can get an idea of what it sounds like. It's got the original mirror on the driver's side. Passenger side, when it got knocked off, it's laying right there. Let me go ahead and fire the truck up. Hadn't been running today, so it may take a couple of turns. Alright, that's the engine running. It's fairly quiet. It cranks good, runs good, drives good. It's not smooth necessarily as far as the quality of the ride like a new truck would be, but it rides a little bit bumpy, I suppose you'd say. I have been told the truck was not lowered. You can see, I think probably that it looks a little lower than normal. My mechanic said that that's just the springs that are tired, so I would assume that's why it rides a little rougher. Coming back to the back, you can just kind of get a feel for what the truck sounds like. The mechanic said it probably has an RV cam in it, so it has a little bit of a more aggressive idle than the standard. The exhaust, works. It's old looking, but it works. And I can't think of anything else really to show you. Take it for a trip down the road right quick. It's got the turbo 400 transmission, and basically just the standard 350 with about an 85 model quadrajet. See, the power steering's actually doing fine right there. It's not causing an issue. The gas gauge does not work. Alright, I'm just going to get straightened out. That's just kind of a light throttle application. Runs good, shifts good, stops fine. Really like the truck. I have another one that's going to be my project, I think, that's got a big block in it. And so we'll let this one go. But the interior originally had the black dash pad. You can see it's shot now, and it had the white door panels that have been dyed black, white seat belts, and black carpet. The black carpet was a Cheyenne or a Cheyenne Super option. I think the only way to get it on a custom deluxe was with the Highlander interior. The truck originally had the gray plaid seat. That's all on the spid inside the glove box. Headlights work good. They're pretty good and bright.